Hi friends, welcome to Good News Edition, where we find inspiring and motivational stories from across the Panhandle. We're gonna kick it off with Sheldon, who's been paying it forward, and let's see who he surprised this week.
Well, it's time again to pay it forward with Legacy Support Works. I've got Tisha here with us today. What have you got for me?
We are ready to go pay it forward, Sheldon. Here's $100, $200, $300.
Thank you so much. Let's go out there and see whose day we can make a little brighter. Tell me a little bit about who you're wanting to help out today.
Yes, of course. My friend Feather, she had a couple of rough weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago. It started with her car, and then it ended up with her apartment. Without getting too much into detail, her apartment ended up flooding for the second time, and so I had some deep conversations with her last night at bowling, and I just really feel like she deserves a little pick-me-up in a sense of like just getting back on her feet and having a reward of like, yes, hard things happen to people, but that doesn't mean it keeps you down. And so I just feel like when I saw you, I was like, this is the perfect time just to give her back a little gift of keep your head up, you got it, and I'm just ready to reward her.
Well, Pay It Forward is back. We've got Legacy Support Works on board with us. They gave us $300 here today to go help brighten somebody's day. And I got Gloria here. She wants to help out her friend Feather. Said she's just had some hard times here lately and thinks, well, this might just cheer her up a little bit. And so, Gloria, I'll hand you off this cash. We've got $100, $200, and $300. Let's go pay it forward.
All righty.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Well, have you heard of Pay It Forward before?
Yes.
That's a program we have here at News Channel 10. Our friends at, of course, Legacy Support Works, they give us $300 every week, and we ask for people in the community to think of somebody that they think just needs a little bit of a boost. And well, Gloria here stopped, and Gloria, I'll let you take it from here.
Yay! Here's $300.
Gloria.
Because I know you had some rough weeks a couple weeks ago, and so I feel like this is just a little pick-me-up, a little cheer to realize that you're not alone and you have a support system and there's always good karma.
Gloria. Oh my gosh, I am like so shocked.
Of course.
We were just talking about this the other day. My house flooded, my car was out of order for a little bit. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say. I thought I would never be somebody on the news for the Pay It Forward, but thank you. Thank you so much for doing this and paying it forward. And, you know, honestly, it means a lot that people think of me, and especially Gloria. We've been in each other's lives the last couple of years, and you know, you really don't think that people listen when you're going through a bunch of different things, but the fact that I'm on her mind and she thought of me instantly, just it warms my heart a lot, and hopefully other people see this and think of their friends as well.
Now let's check out this fun story about a local attraction.
You may have heard of the Big Texan and the 72-ounce steak, but how did this Texas legend get started? In 1960, right here on Route 66 in Amarillo, Texas, R.J. Lee opened a steakhouse. He put a variety of cowboys out front and hung a sign that lit up the Texas sky. That year, Lee held an eating contest, and a cowboy took down 4.5 pounds of steak with all the fixings. Lee looked at that and said, anyone who can do that eats for free, and a Texas legend was born. But when I-40 bypassed Route 66, Lee faced a decision, and he moved with the changing times. With salvaged lumber from the old Amarillo Air Force Base, he built the new Big Texan bigger and bolder than before. But in 1976, the Big Texan burned down. But Lee rebuilt it with a bigger stage and brighter lights. Over 65 years, 3 generations, born on Route 66. Yeah, you've heard of the Big Texan and the 72-ounce steak, but the legend behind it, so much bigger.
This Portland, Oregon couple has been showing off their flawless footwork since they first stepped on the ice together in 1967.
We had a sense of oneness on the ice, that two move as one. And as time went along, that's when they got married.
Their beginning starts as teenagers, on the ice, in some seriously stylish matching outfits. Now, 58 years later, with their matching ensembles still intact,
We put on a lot of miles here.
they're still skating through life, side by side, on and off the very same rink. In fact, to this day, they lace up and skate here every week, back where it all began. Aging Untold expert Catherine Ambrose emphasizes the importance of movement.
The fact that they're out there doing that at least once a week is just, I think, probably helping them stay very capable, strong. But moving is what it's all about. When people retire to their easy chair, we don't last long, and so it's really important to keep moving.
Gliding in perfect unison, they went on to make several appearances at the U.S. National Figure Skating Championships, all before tying the knot and opening their own dental practice together. Ambrose says long-term relationships thrive when they have a positive outlook, flexibility, and mutual support.
They've learned how to manage skating together, staying married, and working together. It's just beautiful to see it.
Now it warms their hearts knowing that people passing by the ice are feeling the love too.
People come up and share with us how they're enjoying it. We really thank them for their message that they give us. We just love being together.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break.
Do you need to wear a jacket today? Check the First Alert weather app. Snowstorm coming in? Check the First Alert weather app. Will it be nice this weekend? Check the First Alert weather app. Are the in-laws coming to visit? Check well, you're on your own for that. But for all things weather, watch, follow, and track with the First Alert weather app.
Lindsay has another cool community spotlight. Let's check in with her.
Visit Pampa and you'll notice a lot of new. From construction to various projects, there's an economic boom.
As we've added new businesses and the tax base is growing, that'll allow the tax burden to be spread out among many people and many businesses, hopefully keeping the tax rate low, and we have a bigger base to draw from.
Leading the charge is the new $3 billion Gray County Data Center.
It's called the Meitner Project, and it's a reinvestment zone that our great county commissioners and judge helped put together to attract industry there. And then the company that's actually put it all together is called Intersect, and their business is mainly to provide green energy for industry.
That means job creation and a surge in population. To help accommodate that, a new subdivision is being developed on the east side of town, the first in decades. Pampa ISD is adding a career technology education and fine arts center to its high school following the passing of a $130 million bond.
Which will train those young people in high school to do the jobs that are available at the data center, whether it be heating and air or electrician or computer related, all those things they can learn in high school. They can come out of high school not just with a job, but also a career that they can advance and move up.
Now let's check in with the latest update on all things ag.
Today I'm joined with the Randall County 4-H, and we're going to talk about some events that they have coming up. So McKenna, tell me about what's going on at the 4-H.
So what's coming up for 4-H is we're about to have our livestock district judging contest. That will be on April 10th, and the Randall County just started doing our livestock practices, so we're getting into the swing of things.
Yeah, and so Casey, kind of tell me, what is livestock judging?
Livestock judging is an event where you evaluate 4 head of species: cattle, pigs, sheep, and goats. And then you have market classes and breeding classes, which you evaluate over different criterias. And then you also, at the end, for intermediates, which both of us are, we'll give 2 sets of reasons at the end over why we placed it that way. And then livestock judging is a self event, but at the end, you'll have a team of 4 or 3 where you add up your scores and then you can win as a team or by yourself.
Okay, and this is not something that people can go and watch you guys do, so tell me what you guys have learned from this event.
Well, I've first learned definitely critical thinking skills, and I've also learned like individual thinking, but I've also learned just how to like stay focused because I get a little scatterbrained sometimes.
Okay, and for you?
I feel like I've learned a lot more about animals, and like if I ever need to go buy an animal, I know which one's the best and which one's good for me.
I like it down here. That's what it's all about.
In a constantly changing world, Margaret Papa.
How was school today, kids?
Or Maggie.
Good. Have a nice evening.
Is just a constant.
Thanks for walking your bike.
Same times during the school week, same crosswalk.
I do this in the morning, too.
Same fluorescent yellow vest and sign.
Now the kids, they look forward to me waving.
Same warmth.
I love it. I love the kids. Children are always happy. And it just seems to consume you.
For about 12 years now, she's faithfully guided children to and fro.
They tell me it's their birthday or what they got for gifts. Something exciting happened in their life. Hello.
Maggie's interactions are not just with the kids, but drivers as well.
That's why we're in Florida.
And waves just to say hello.
We're going to have more traffic.
She is a living example of how purpose really, keeps a person vibrant. When she's not here, we look for her.
This is the best job for retirees.
Well, she can stop traffic with a quick flick of the wrist.
Across the kids.
There's no slowing down.
Yeah, this is my spot, yeah.
When it comes to Maggie Papa.
I can exercise. I don't have an ache or a pain. I'm in perfect health.
So the next time you're near the intersection of 5th Ave Northwest and 67th Street, slow down, stop.
You make my day.
And wave back.
Have a nice day.
We'll be right back after this quick break.
Well, hey friends, here at News Channel 10, we have the opportunity to find and share positive and inspirational stories with you. And now we're bringing you those good news stories on Good News Edition, where we can highlight those great stories from around our area. And don't forget, you can find plenty more good news on newschannel10.com and your favorite streaming apps.
Ruben has been busy. Let's check in with him on the road.
Well, in 2012, my wife and I came down here after I retired out of the Navy in 1988. But in 2012, we were at the church meeting for a mission. And the preacher had said, well, we support 9 missionaries around the country, around the world, but what do we do here in Stratford? And everybody kind of, well, gee, I don't know, what would we do? And he threw out, he said, well, there's lunches for kids in the summertime, there's activities for kids in the summertime. He said, you can feed at certain places, and he said you could open a thrift store. And he was just throwing things out, and my wife's sitting there, and we left, and everybody said, yeah, that's a good idea, and we left. Well, about 2 nights later, next morning, my wife came to me and she said, I had a dream. I said, what's that? And she said, I'm supposed to open a thrift store. Yeah, okay. Well, she had that dream 3 nights in a row. And the 3rd night, I said, God's talking to us, we're going to open a thrift store. And we went back to the church and said, this is what we want to do. And it's the Methodist Church, we said we want to use this as a community thrift store. We don't want it to be Methodist. But because we're using the nonprofit from the Methodist Church. Everything that goes out of this or that's bought here, all this money goes back to the community. Since 2012, that's 14 years, $338,000 has been given back to the community. I had a banker here in Stratford, Texas, that said, "This will never work. You're out of your mind." God's proved him wrong.
For the last 25 years or so, I've been photographing streetscapes, signage, letter forms in different places, mostly in the United States, but other places like Cuba, Southeast Asia, Ethiopia even, I've been to and done that. About 20 years ago, I took my first trip on Route 66 looking for old neons. And I was curious about what Route 66 is like now. I took this trip in 2024 and spent 28 days on the road. And it was kind of an exploration of where we're at before the centennial. I didn't even know that the centennial was coming up at that point until then. And I was like, wow, this is kind of a timely look. And I really tried to concentrate on the people that were in towns too, not just the signage and the streetscapes. So it was kind of a unique experience for me, especially for that long of a road trip. This trip here, I literally tried to stay as open as possible, to be present in the moment. The trip I did 20 years ago in 2003 was one where I was hyper-focused on just finding old neons. Rusty and crusty was what I wanted, and I really didn't pay attention to much around me for that leg. And this time I was doing the exact opposite. I was looking at inspiration from just whatever I found, and sometimes it's the environment, where the sun is, how that interacts with the landscape and the streets to get great shadows. But the more I got into how resilient Route 66 is, that layered interplay really drew me to each different area, and I was really looking for ways I could capture a bigger part of the picture in the compositions. And for Route 66 itself, it's got such a mythology around it, such a folklore in America, and there's so many people from around the world that come here because it's a symbol of like our freedom. To me, it's more a symbol of the American resilience, and that's what I got out of this. Part of the magic of this particular trip and the last year has been my intention was to really show my photography in zine format, in self-published books, because they work really well in series, and I can control how it gets out. It's a little more democratic art form because you can just pass them out. You can all fit on a tabletop, you know. And that's how I was going to do this tour this spring. And I got an opportunity in my hometown in South Bend, Indiana, to do a solo show of this work. So a lot of these are actually prints from that show that I took with me on this trip. So it became a much bigger thing than I originally intended. And the zines are, I mentioned how it's very welcoming to other people because it's a very unintimidating art form, and you can write in them too. People do poetry, self-published comic books, quite a lot of other things besides photo zines. But I'm really happy to be part of that community, and this is an opportunity to kind of share that with people as well that might not know a lot about them. So that's part of this art tour as well. That's an art and zine show that at each place I come to.
Go grab a snack. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's check out some more fun stories before we head out.
Free advice from the old broads. Some good, some bad, always free.
4 friends since elementary school. Cheryl, Kathleen, Sue, and Cindy still getting together 55 years after graduating from Long Beach High School.
Hey, Emily!
They're always ready to invite anyone to a seat at their table.
We laugh, but we do give some good advice. I mean,
tongue in cheek, though. It's supposed to be tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Setting up their sign in the town green during the weekly farmers market or in the corner of the coffee shop, the old broads get a wide variety of questions.
Mostly we're greeted with a smile.
And a giggle.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, what advice can you give to me? We'll say something along the lines of, well, you could have picked a better shirt, but that's okay.
Hey, Ava!
Cheryl lived away from Long Beach for decades. When she moved back a few years ago, the 4 friends started getting together like no time had passed.
I think it's real unusual that we go back as far as we do to kindergarten.
And live to tell about it.
And live to tell about it.
As for the name Old Broads,
I saw on Facebook a men's group, and they were called the Old Farts. And their saying was, the truth is out there, just not here. And so we thought, we can do that. Let's give free advice.
so when something's free, you have to take advantage of it, right?
When's a good time to buy a car? 20 minutes before your car is dead. That's the best time.
I think I'd kind of want interest rates to drop a little bit more. And I would milk the car I'm driving now for all it's worth before I traded it in.
But the advice isn't always taken as freely as it's given.
My car just got paid off, and I've all of a sudden got this urge.
Oh, stop.
I do. I'm looking at her and thinking, but it's
It runs beautifully
It is.
and it's pretty. Stop.
While the old classmates enjoy dishing out advice to others, they spend just as much time lifting each other up.
I will tell you, when my husband passed away, these three ladies kept me going.
We're there for each other.
Living through experiences together gives them each perspective on what might be the most important priorities for others.
But our best advice is
don't talk politics.
Well, besides that,
Yeah.
is to get a 3D mammogram.
Yeah, that's what saved my life.
Cindy Rogers lived through breast cancer. Now she lives to tell others how to catch it early. It's just one way the Old Broads are helping their community and creating friendships.
Every Thursday morning at Cedarhurst of Tesson Heights, you'll hear it. The sound of seniors sewing. Courtesy of the Quilting Club, currently consisting of 5 ladies and a mascot named Jazzy.
We have a lot of fun.
It was the idea of activities coordinator Glennette Notham.
I love to quilt, and I think word got out, and then the ladies were like, we want to quilt. And I'm like, really? Wow. And then people started donating fabric and sewing machines.
And the Quilting Club was born. It's a mix of old pros like 71-year-old Barb Jackson.
My mother was a sewer. She taught me how to sew. And of course, I took home ec in high school.
I can't even sew a button on.
And newcomers like 81-year-old Doris Lake.
I said, I can't sew worth heck. She said, come on, everybody. And now I just love my machine.
Not every member sews, but they all contribute.
They needed somebody to help iron or do anything that I can do to help them while they're sewing.
So maybe you're wondering, where do these quilts go? Well, that's the best part.
Whoever may need it, we give it.
Today is a baby quilt it'll be for the foster care system, so we're putting that together.
And some went to veterans at the Jefferson Barracks VA Hospital, who sent this letter of thanks to the quilters.
The veterans love them.
Whether hanging out,
I enjoy being with the ladies very much.
helping out,
Just giving back to the community.
or just leaving each other in stitches. The Quilting Club seems to be spreading smiles. Steve Harris.
Well, all good things must come to an end, but don't worry, you can catch up on all of our good news on News Channel 10, newschannel10.com, and of course, all of our favorite streaming apps. Until next time, I'm Nellie Ramirez.